Tez here. I'm just going to give you a bit of a run through QBT, or as it's known, Queensland Bulk Terminal. Those of us who cart weevils around, or grain, in the southern Queensland would know this place probably pretty well. It's one of many down at Brisbane deal with grain in bulk or shipping containers, and this particular place seems to just deal with bulk grain, one type of grain at a certain time. The two runs what I filmed here were bringing in wheat at the time. I don't go to this place very often. I quite often get told don't come back, and yes, it's for the normal reasons why everyone else gets told not to come back, quite often only for a couple of weeks. QBT, we get to park or line up on the road, give them a call on the radio if they answer, give them a rego and contract number, and they'll let us in or call us in when they're ready. We already have our tarps rolled back, so when they use a robot arm to probe the trailers to get the sample. It seemed to be on a bit of a work slow scenario at the moment, so I've cut a lot of stuff out and I have sped the footage up a fair bit. I do take a sample out of both your trailers so they can get an even spread of the sample across both trailers. Where that truck in front of me is now, it's a bit of a holding bay staging area. You basically have to sit there and wait until they finish with your sample and find out if it's going to meet the grade to go onto the ship. You notice while you're having a look through this footage, everything's a bit of a tight squeeze for a B double, especially an A double. There is enough room to swing everything around and not hit everything 99% of the time. The weigh bridges are set up for road trains basically, so there is that in mind. It's quite often two people in the office there, one doing the sample, the other one bloke's running the radio, making sure all the trucks are doing the right thing and going the right way.
You better go live it up, cash in the bag, stay unpacked, baby I'm bad, baby I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad, chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back, I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me, ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact, give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah.
We're going to unload at Shed B, or what they call Shed B. I've ever only unloaded at Grid B or Shed B. I'm not too sure where Shed or Grid A goes. I believe it must go straight down to the port where they load ships, but I'm not 100% sure on that. This grid's pretty damn fast, as you'll see. As fast as you can tip your trailers up, it will take it. And it all goes into a big shed, which is down at the bottom. Then it goes onto a boat after that. Normally have one bloke in here guiding you to tell you where to pull up and stop. He also cleans the back of your trailers down, make sure you're not taking grain back out on the main road. Out of all the grain sites I've been to, this one's the only one makes you wear basically a hard hat. Any other grain site I've been to, they don't care about a hard hat, providing you're wearing your boots, and most times high vis. Most places like to wear high vis. And I wear a dust mask in this one because it gets pretty damn dusty and my lungs can't handle it anymore, so hence why I got the dust mask on as well, and they require you to wear one as well. And some grain court places I do wear a mask, especially if we're in a shed situation. They do have dust distractors in these places, but they're not always the best, especially this one. It seems to hang around and follow you around a fair bit. My hydraulics on this set of trailers must be a bit of a restriction there and somewhere, because they're pretty slow. I don't know why it is. It's must be just the A trailer. Something in the A trailer there restricts. Even on the back one now, it's slower. When I drag more trailers as a road train, different set, they're quite quick, up and down. So it must be just this A trailer. There's a restriction in the flow there somewhere. I don't drag these trailers very often, so you saw me walk down and I was checking the distance between the A and the B, so they don't hit like us. And you can see the dust there now starting to come back out, so I just got out the way of the dust for a little bit and go down and shut my doors. There's a bloke there with the air compressor, blow out between the, or clean off the A trailer mainly, because it seems to hold grain pretty well. I only throw the latches and stuff on this side. When I get it back outside, I'll roll the tarps back over and latch everything up properly then. Just pull forward a bit, so the dog trailer is sitting over the grid now. So I basically do the same thing I do on the lead trailer there now. There's a hydraulic valve I've got to hit to go from the lead trailer to the dog trailer, and swing my locking hitches and let the hooks down, so the tailgate will open on the chains. And let the lift up the back trailer, or the dog trailer. Same thing, as fast as you can tip it, fast as it will take the grain away. So this is probably one of the fastest grids I actually been on to, and it's pretty good in that way. This one's probably the longest part is the operator or the driver swinging doors and latches and opening and shutting tailgates. That's probably the slowest part of the whole thing. The reason I'm standing at the back of the truck there is because there's a secondary switch to control the hydraulic valve for lifting and lowering trailers. It's just an easier way for people to control the trailers if they're outside sometimes. Saves getting dust inside the cab. You would have seen me take my vest off there because I don't get out of the truck again, so I don't need it. I usually put the vest and mask and helmet all in the same spot, stashed away in the truck, so next time I need it, it's all in the same spot in the truck. Now that shed what was directly in front of us, that's where the grain's going. That's actually an elevator, that ramp looking thing there. So that wetness on the ground, it's actually hydraulic, or someone blew a hose there that morning, so we all got held up for an hour or so while we cleaned that mess up a bit. As we're going down the hill here, you can see they only use the one grid, so that's why it's pretty slow. It's not like they're using multiple grids to get all the trucks through, so it's one grid at the time. Like I said, it can take you about an hour to get through sometimes, half an hour on a good day if everything runs well. As you can see, we're coming down to the bottom of the harbour. This is part of the elevator for getting the grain out of the shed and down to the harbour itself, which is only just around the corner. So they load off this harbour edge here, I believe. I've never seen it done, so I'm not totally sure how they do it here. And I also believe they fill up tanker boats or something like that for fuel. Yeah, there's a bit of a fuel depot down here as well, and quite often you see that boat parked here. So that shed on the left hand side, that's the shed where all the grain's going into and gets stored until it gets to go onto a boat. So this is the secondary bridge, or the outbound bridge for us to get weighed off. Everything gets sent to us by text, so there's no paperwork involved at all. So our weights and everything gets, we only get our weights, we don't find out what the grain was doing. Sent to us by text, to confirming that we've been there. This exit's a bit of a prick, a bit of a tight turn here, and also very steep. And when it's wet, it can be very slippery. Apparently during the drought, they were dragging grain out of this joint, and fully loaded trucks on wet road here, they had to get towed up because they couldn't get the pad back down to the ground. It was just too steep. This driveway is a bit of a, one hit only. If you stuff up, it could be the worst nightmare you ever come across, especially with that corner there. I am going to try this year to get footage of other places I've been to. I don't quite often come down to Brisbane. Heaven forbid if I go back down to grain ag again, or rain ag, whatever they want to call themselves, down to Pinkenborough. Yeah, it's an interesting joint, that one. I'd like to get some footage of there, and just general of grain corp places and how interesting it can get around some of these places. If everyone can please be safe on the road, take good care of each other, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.